Hello, Savannah. Thank you for tuning into WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org, our Savannah Soundings community radio with global soul. My name's Julie Spencer. Thank you for tuning in. You've just tuned into Real Estate Real Talk with myself. And this show is about anything and everything related to real estate investing. And it can be for the homeowner, for the investor themselves, for landlords, for tenants, for anybody. And my job is to basically kind of just guide you through a couple of the issues that I'm always facing. I'm a local real estate investor here in Savannah, Georgia, as well as other cities in Georgia and other states that are adjacent. I do a lot with tax sale foreclosures. I have a couple of seasonal rentals now. I used to be a short-term vacation rental host, not anymore, thank goodness, but seasonal. And so the switch kind of happened during COVID. So I'm very much enjoying not having to go to my houses like every single day and trying to do stuff. But anyways, I share stories, I share adventures, things that I've ran across. They're not always connected. Sometimes I just have people that I interview. If you have any comments, suggestions, or anybody you'd want me to bring in, please send me a message. Also, these shows are later published on my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Julia M. Spencer. You can just go there and listen to any of the old shows, or there's tons of videos there as well. And that's actually what we're going to do this week, because it's pretty much my more or less, I'm trying to look here, I didn't even bring my last show prior to Christmas. Yay! I don't know if anybody else is excited about Christmas as I am. So our tree's up and we have presents and we're going to be home and I'm going to be cooking and baking and doing all the stuff. I'm so excited. Yay! Anyways, so I'm here today, live, broadcasting from downtown Savannah near Troop Square. By the way, there is a sign out there on Troop Square about the song Jingle Bells, which was written by somebody that went to church here, right here on the square. So we have somebody in our midst, or used to have somebody here, right here, really close, that is Christmas royalty. So in any case, let's play some music. That's what I kind of do. I talk a little bit and I play some music. And then let's see what we're going to talk about. I'm not really quite sure yet today. A couple of things that I'm working on, as well as we can always answer questions from my subscribers on my YouTube channel. So that is going to be kind of our goal today. Let's stick with a little bit more Christmassy songs. Hopefully you like these songs. We'll be right back after this. Stay on, don't go anywhere. The Waitresses, Christmas Wrapping. Hope you like that song. And thank you for staying with me here for Real Estate Real Talk with Julia M. Spencer today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's gorgeous out there. I love it when it's kind of chilly and sunny, as it is here most of the time of the year here in Savannah. I love it. In any case, you are listening to Real Estate Real Talk, and we're going to talk a little bit about real estate here today. A couple of things that I'm working on that I wanted to update you on. I think on the last show, I talked a little bit about my Airbnb guest from hell. I still do Airbnb. I still use it, although I'm starting to kind of like steer away from it a little bit because their fees are extraordinary. Their support has been decreasing each year a little bit more. And of course, if you get a guest from hell, you're pretty much on your own. In this case, I did have just a little brief update. I had a guest staying in my house in Atlanta, and she stayed there for a couple days over Thanksgiving, but then decided the house wasn't for her. But instead of just kind of negotiating for us to figure this out, because she had a non-refundable reservation, I was going to give her money back anyways. But she started to become very hostile. Well, at first, let's see, she did like a 4-prong approach. She first off, she said she's scared in the house. I kind of wasn't understanding that, but of course that neighborhood up there in Atlanta where my house is a little bit reminiscent of the neighborhoods that you would see in, not sure if you saw the show Stranger Things. That's kind of house it is. It's from the 70s. It's been completely remodeled. It's beautiful inside. And in any case, I can see how somebody that's used to more like a suburban feel would feel a little bit awkward in a neighborhood that has a lot of woods, that's sort of dark at night. There's not a lot of illumination. Also, it's a very large lot. So you pretty much don't see your neighbors. You're pretty much on your own. You're in the woods. It could be a little scary, but there's nothing unsafe about the neighborhood, and it's not a high crime area or anything like that. So in any case, I didn't understand that comment. So then she came back and said the place was dirty. She sent some pictures to Airbnb at the time, but Airbnb decided that what she showed pictures of was wear and tear. It wasn't really dirty. So they declined that. Then she went and decided, let's just falsely accuse my host of cameras in the house, which is completely illegal, which is not what I do, and obviously against Airbnb policy as well. So there's no cameras inside, only outside for safety and security, obviously as part of the security system that's in that home. And of course, she filed a claim with Airbnb for unsafe conditions. And they called me and I explained it to them, and we went through the screenshots that the cameras actually do capture, and it's very obvious they're only pointing outside. So that was thrown out. So the last thing she threw at me was the race card. Believe it or not, dear listeners here in Savannah, Georgia, here in the South in Georgia, I get the race card thrown at me quite frequently. And it's not because I'm doing anything. And if you're listened to my show before, you know of me, you went to my channel before, you obviously know that I'm a white Caucasian female. And the guest in question was African American. And honestly, still to this point, have no idea how she came to the point that I was a racist. I made absolutely zero remarks regarding this. She did find a picture of a chair with a red background that was hanging in the house, which kind of came with the house when I bought the house. Most of the furniture that is in the house is not my personal furniture. Furniture came with the house when I bought it, including this picture. So I wasn't really sure what she meant by that. I put out a question on the chat channels for short-term vacation rentals, Airbnb hosts on Facebook. And of course, if you want to get offended or get somebody to be offended or get somebody angry at you, that's where you post the question. And that's exactly what happened. People got really, really angry with me for even posting the conversation I had with this guest, because apparently that was not allowed. But somebody, right before they took it down, somebody actually did answer and said that the picture of the chair with the red background is some sort of insinuation of a show that I've never seen, that I still don't know, and they took the post down faster than I can even look it up. So I don't even know what this is all about. Subsequently, Airbnb just decided this is too much trouble. Let's just cancel the reservation. So they did. They gave me a $0 payout, even though she's already been there about a week at that time. And of course, I raised all kinds of hell because I'm like, well, at least you got to pay me for the week she was already there. And so Airbnb decided, well, because this whole, it got pretty ugly. Some of the things that she said on the chat in the Airbnb platform was against their community standards and their anti-discrimination policy. So pointed that out. Of course, with Airbnb, it used to be that you would get a support specialist and they would help you. Later on, I've been with them for 11 years, so I kind of know a little bit how they work. I almost feel like I'm working there. And I kind of know the process, and the process changes with them. So every year, every half year, every portion of the year, their process has changed. And I understand they're a big corporation now. They're making a lot of money. Brian Chesky needs to keep his pockets full, I guess. They basically have changed to the point that when you call the support number, that you actually are talking to just a call center. Nobody there can help you really with anything. I mean, just the very basic, simple things. That's all. And they can kind of point you to where something is on the website and maybe answer a question or two regarding their policy, if they even know. And if not, they're usually transfer you to somebody else. Then it takes several days for anybody to get back to you. And they usually don't know what's going on. So there's like different levels, different teams. There's no transparency about who you're dealing with. So some people have the authority to do something, but maybe they don't like you that day and they're just going to go take the side of the guest. Other times they are in a good mood and maybe you are pleasant on the phone and they will give you the advantage here. So it's really kind of like a chess game, I've noticed. So you have to move your chess pieces the right way for you to have the game turn out the way that you want it. And there's a couple things, obviously, that you can do. So in this case, it took me forever, but I did finally reach somebody in the right department that decided that the guest has violated Airbnb standards, community standards, as well as in the anti-discrimination policy. And so they did cancel the reservation with a $0 payout to me. However, within 2 days, they made the deposit of the whole amount to me. So there was a negative number, which was then canceled out by the positive deposit, including the money that she hasn't even paid yet because she booked more than a month, and Airbnb usually only pays out once a month. So they gave me the extra week and a half that she booked beyond that month, in addition, a couple of days later. But it took a couple of emails. You have to absolutely positively always stick on the phone and always answer messages and give them everything that they want. You know, as my friend Danielle said, the more paper, the cleaner your butt. So you really need to gather information. You need to have pictures of how the place looked like before the guests got there. You need to have timestamps on that. As far as videos, I've noticed that they actually don't even care if the date and time stamp of a particular video on a security camera is in the title of the video. It actually needs to be on the screen, on the front of the actual picture that you see in the actual video. That's how they'll accept it. And so sometimes you get somebody that's just going to fish around and try to discredit you. Other times they're like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, absolutely, you know, we'll cancel a reservation, full refund to me. So in any case, it turned out to be in my favor. I didn't talk to this lady anymore. She was starting to get very aggressive. She said I would be dead within a year and all kinds of nasty, crazy things, that I'm an antichrist. I don't even want to go into all the detail. It was pretty bad. However, what then subsequently happened is that she got a link, just like I got a link, to review this experience with them. So I get to review the guest, and the guest reviews the host. And this is going to be posted on the Airbnb website for other guests and hosts to see. So, and usually there's a 2-week period where both parties have the opportunity to leave these reviews independent of each other. You can't read what the other person wrote before you write what you write, and they can't read what you wrote before they write what they write. And of course, you can also abstain and not write anything, and then basically the other person's review is automatically posted within 2 weeks. And that's kind of how you evaluate your experience. I kind of called him and I said, hey, you know, I mean, I know she stayed, but the reservation was canceled. It's pretty obvious for what reasons, and it's very likely that she's going to leave me a bad review. Do you really want to give her the opportunity to give me a review? And their policy, of course, you get like a robot person on the other line. They're basically saying, well, our policy is if they stayed even one day, they get a chance to review. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I waited. I didn't leave her a review because at this point, I really just don't even want to deal with her. I should have, but I was also kind of late because I had other stuff I had going on. So I kind of missed the date. And so, of course, when hers came in, it was extremely bad. It was racist here, racist there. She's a racist. She doesn't like African Americans, and she didn't even say that. She said she doesn't like black people, and it just went on and on and on. And so finally I said, you know, let me just call Airbnb and see if that even is with their anti-discrimination policy, because, or any policy that they have, really, community standards, whatever. And so they looked at it. It took another 3 days. And they determined it was against their community standards, and they removed the review. Within a second, it was gone. So, but still for 3 days, it was there. People could read it. You know, that was kind of the bad thing. I probably missed on a couple of reservations that way. But in any case, all my places are booked again. And thank goodness, and I don't have to deal with this person ever again. And the good thing, of course, I got the full payout. Now, I would have given this lady a refund for the days that were rebooked because somebody came right after her and they were just ecstatic about the place. They loved it. It was clean. It was big. It was the best place they've ever stayed. I've talked to the lady, and so I know there was nothing wrong with my place. It was kind of like a problem with the guest, the previous one. And that's kind of how that turned out. And I would have given her a refund for the days that were rebooked by this new guest, but she was actually restricted from the platform. And when I tried to send her a message, I could see that her picture was gone, and there was no opportunity to leave a message because it was grayed out. So I couldn't even contact her to do that. And at this point, I was like, maybe all this hassle was worth it. So I'm just going to take the money and run. And that's exactly what I did. So that was kind of my little bit of an update on this Airbnb guest from hell, more or less. And hopefully you enjoyed that story. Gladly, this doesn't happen very often to me, maybe 2-3 times a year, maybe even that. And I have a lot of reservations in a lot of properties, so that is a very small number. I'd say maybe 1-3% maybe of all my reservations have problem guests like this. So don't let that deter you from getting into that business if you want to, and kind of roll with the punches. That's all I can recommend on that one. And believe it or not, I've been talking for 20 minutes, so it's time to play a song. And I've been playing kind of like Christmas songs, but of the different kind, not the kind that you get like at one of the stations here in Savannah that just play traditional. This is a little bit more cool stuff. So
get your music played on the radio. We here at WRUU 107.5 FM are looking for quality local music. Share your talents for the city of Savannah to enjoy. All you have to do is submit your songs to music at WRUU.org. That's music at WRUU.org. The only thing we ask of you is no explicit lyrics or content. So don't wait. WRUU in Savannah is excited to hear you.
Tune in to Way Left the Dial every Monday afternoon here on WRUU from 4 to 6 p.m. for Music with an Edge with Tom. It's Way Left the Dial every Monday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WRUULP 107.5 FM.
In celebration of the 60th anniversary of the appearance of the Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show, the concert will feature nearly 24 facts. More information and tickets can be found at www.savannah.org.
You are listening to WRUU, community radio with a global soul, not commercial radio. Therefore, more content, more music, more conversation, and fewer commercials.
And thank you for staying with me here for Real Estate Real Talk with Julia M. Spencer, and thanks for listening to the announcements there. My show here is on everything and anything related to real estate investing. So I kind of updated you briefly on the first part of the show about this Airbnb guest from hell. Thank goodness the one after is pretty much a 180 opposite. She's wonderful. And they brought actually their golden retrievers. So I'm pretty excited to host the doggy for once again in this home, and it's a beautiful fit for that. In any case, thank you for listening. By the way, if you want to listen to the show later on, it will be on my YouTube channel. Type in Julia M. Spencer into any search engine, and you'll be able to find it. It's going to take me a little bit to update that and upgrade that. But for the last part of the show, I want to talk a little bit about some of the comments that were left to me, because I kind of neglected this YouTube channel. I need to get back into it and wanted to talk a little bit about it. So here's a comment from one of my he's been around for a long time. He's been listening to my channel, William Tyfee, and he left a message, a little bit longer message, so I'm just going to read it. Hello, Julia. I really missed hearing your voice. Hope you had a good time in PDC again. Oh, yeah, I can recall about that property soon after I found your YouTube channel. Interesting that you were discussing overages. Here, since I'm actually just now, in the last few days, starting to look into this very niche because of what's going on in the current environment. Coupled with the mid to long-term outlook, this RE cycle, particularly of the way the new legal precedent ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court in May of this year. And as you mentioned, property valuations have appreciated greatly in many areas, so there may be considerably more excess proceeds now accumulated. Also, foreclosures are again picking up, so combined with the Supreme Court ruling, I can do the math in my head. Maybe we should talk sometime. So what ultimately happened with this overage scenario? So what he's talking about is I actually was contacted by overage collectors, overage investors that thought that an overage is due to me because apparently they did some searches on some county books here in Chatham County and saw my name on there. And when I looked, I saw the same thing. And however, this overage is not due to me, as far as I remember, because it was a tax sale foreclosure property I bought a couple of years ago, which was redeemed on the last day. So the property was given back to the original owner. Subsequently, about a year or two later, I was contacted by the Chatham County Tax Commissioner, Mrs. Sonia Jackson, I believe is her name, and asked if I was willing to let the property go again. And I did tell her it's not mine anymore, but apparently it was going up for a tax sale again and was sold, this time with a significant upsell. So there was a really big overage. And again, these investors contact me thinking that it was mine, but it was not. So I contacted them back and I called the county. I even sent a letter to the county. Nothing ever happened from this. I probably should follow up on it, but in my opinion, no money is owed to me. And in fact, it wouldn't even be much, if anything. So I sent them a letter. I told them what happened. I told them that they probably made a mistake. They need to correct that. And I really haven't heard anything since from them or from any other investors, which basically means that they maybe saw their mistake, updated the information, took my name off the list as one of the owners that anything is owed to, and that's how the whole thing was settled, I believe. But again, I probably should check on it. I do have, for all my little tasks like this, I have a folder, and obviously I've been out of the country and all over the world, climbing the world's tallest mountains and getting altitude sickness. So I really haven't followed up on it, but I probably should get back into it and see where things stand and kind of update you guys on that. So William, thank you so much for asking this question. I really appreciate it. I will update you on this as soon as I have more information, but at this point there is no information. No overage was due to me, and so I kind of let the whole thing die. That was actually the last radio show that I posted a couple months ago. So we're going to go back into the next question. There is one comment that I did want to mention. It was on a video that was left on a timeshare sales pitch. And I kind of, for a couple of years, or a year maybe, I did go to the timeshare sales presentations because I wanted to get the free vacation or cheap vacation at these resorts just to check them out, and kind of partially actually recorded some of the sales pitches, but I also made a lot of notes and made videos about those. I kind of, as always with timeshares and tax sale foreclosures are the two topics that everybody always wants to talk about on my YouTube channel and on my radio show. And timeshares, of course, is a very divided topic. And what I mean by that is people are either completely for it because they own timeshares and use them, or people are completely against it because they got burned by buying them. So, and of course, then there's a small percentage of people that sell them. So they're for it, but that's a biased opinion. So I'm talking to the people that actually bought them. There's a very big faction of the yayers and nayers. And so this lady here, or sir, I don't know, he said, I wouldn't trade my decades of ownership use with my family for anything. I don't get a second shot at those years when we had little girls to spoil. We talk about those trips all the time. So again, this is a pro person for this timeshare. And of course, if you're going to buy a timeshare, it is going to be for you, for your family, to use with your friends for years and years, to go back to the same place and enjoy it. And if that's where you're buying it, all the power to you. My show and my channel, my radio station are about investing in real estate, using it as a source of income, buying assets to gain something from them, namely a source of income later or some sort of monetary reward later on. So this really doesn't have a lot to do with what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm talking about is buying timeshares as an investment, and that's definitely a no-no. Nothing against these resorts or using timeshares because they're beautiful places. It's just not something that you can make money on or resell for any kind of profit. So this person at Western43 is his username on YouTube. I would just be kind of curious to hear what he did with this timeshare after, or is he still using it, but what is he planning to do with it when he's finished using it and doesn't require it anymore? Maybe his kids are grown or something. Anyway, that was my question on that one. Oh, and the other topic, beside, there's actually three, so I take that back. I said 2, but it's actually 3. So timeshares is one, tax foreclosures, but the third topic that has the most traction on my channel are reverse mortgages. And of course, I had a lot of comments. Again, pro and con. Same scenario. People got them. They're happy with them. Other people got them. They got screwed by them. They're not happy with them. And then, of course, all the people that want to sell them, which are very biased. And I try not to talk to them other than getting factual information of what the product looks like and how it works. So this lady or a man, I can't tell, says, I am 80 years old, no mortgage, no one to leave the home to. I am able to pay all taxes and fees without the reverse mortgage. I just don't want to leave all that money sitting on the table after I'm gone. And that's all the power to you. I absolutely give you high five on this one. I agree with this completely. If you have nobody to leave any money to, or maybe you have people you would leave money to, but you just don't like them and you don't want to, then all the power to you. But in any case, if you have a mortgage like this, a reverse mortgage. So basically what it is, it's basically pay you a monthly amount for the rest of your years while you're alive and you get to live in your home basically. I feel it's very restrictive. If you have a lot of equity in your home, what I would recommend is to figure out some other way to get this equity out, not using a reverse mortgage, just because the fees associated with getting a reverse mortgage are much higher than maybe a different solution. But if that works for you, and that's what you want to do, and you want to basically use up the equity, and then when you pass away, it go to the reverse mortgage company or be sold to satisfy that loan, then all the power to you. I have absolutely no problems with you doing that kind of thing, that kind of decision for your house. You may want to discuss that though with your children and people that will take care of you in case something does happen and you require additional care or need to move away from home, maybe into a cared facility. That's something that you have to do on an individual basis there. Anyways, let's play some more music and I'll be right back with this. Stay on, don't go anywhere. Love that song by Band-Aid actually. And that was a really popular song back in the 80s. They know it's Christmas. Not alternative, but I like that song a lot. So in any case, thank you so much for being on here with me. My last show before Christmas. So we're playing a little bit of a Christmas tunes here. And we're answering some questions from my YouTube channel, which I have completely neglected in the last couple months, but getting slowly back into it. Not sure you guys knew, but the reason for all of this is actually that I'm actually currently in a lawsuit with my ex-husband, believe it or not. He sued me again after being divorced for 10 years. And he wants half of a property that he kind of just abandoned. So that is what's kind of taking up my time, gathering pretty much every and any receipt for the last 10 years for this house to prove that there wasn't really any profit on this house. In fact, there was a loss. And if he does proceed with it, obviously, we're going to be able to show that. Have no ill feelings against him. In any case, not at this Christmas season. This is a happy time. Anyways, if you have any questions about legal stuff like that, you probably should consult your lawyer, though. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a tax professional. I'm just simply an investor. I'm not even a realtor. So not yet. Anyway, I was thinking to maybe become one, but in a place like New York City, maybe. And that's kind of like my new goal here, is to figure out what it would take to do that, because I'm kind of excited to go there always, especially during the holiday season, but really any time of the year, kind of in love with the city. So, and of course we have such great connections here from Savannah to fly there. It's such an awesome thing, and it's not very expensive. So in any case, if you want to hear more about my life story, the best place to go, of course, is my YouTube channel, Julia M. Spencer. You can also listen to the shows, these radio shows right here on the WRUU.org website. You can just go to the archives tab, go to Wednesdays, go to all the way down to 12:06 p.m. is when my show starts. And you can listen to old shows there, and I update them as well when I get the time. In any case, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to play one more song here, and that'll be the Pixies, believe it or not. It's called Winter Long. It's from their B-sides. And so, of course, I'm sticking here with my, Christmas playlist, I would say. Yeah, but it's not really my playlist. It's kind of just my playlists that are found on the Spotify here. And I do really hope that you continue listening to my show. I'm going to end it a little bit early here because I really don't have a whole lot to share. We'll be going back and just maintaining properties here this winter. I'm just happy I get to paint stuff. I believe it or not, I want to share this little bit here. I have some vacancies right now, so I was painting my bathtub. There's actually paint available where you can paint your complete bathtub, believe it or not, and it is waterproof after that and looks amazing. Like basically like a brand new bathtub for like the paint was like $50 or something. It was a little bit more expensive on the paint side, but it was also very enjoyable to listen to music and to paint your bathtub. It's exactly what I did this weekend. So, any case, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Wednesday afternoon and an awesome Christmas. Get lots of presents, give lots of presents, be nice to each other, and I'll see you again after the holidays. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Bye.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.